Good morning and welcome to Ask Charlie and to my weekly vlog. For those of you that are new around here, I thought I'd better actually introduce myself. I'm Charlie Gray and I set up Ask Charlie 4 years ago, and welcome. Anyway, this week I am, well, I had a few people get in touch and say, Charlie, how do you juggle it all? So I thought in today's episode, we would talk about the Mum Juggle. So I thought we'd start up here. I am slightly blurry-eyed, so it's probably a good thing you can't see me clearly. It is currently 6:10 a.m. and the alarm went off. I leapt out of bed, I threw on my clothes, and I am up here. It actually is really, really cold, and I forgot my neck snood, which is annoying. There's a light frost, so the water has frozen slightly, so I've just got the kettle on in the tack room. I thought while it was boiling was a perfect opportunity to chat to you. Si, my husband, is away. He's back this evening, but he's been away for a couple of nights, so it really has been the Mum Juggle, trying to do it all myself. But it's fine as long as you've got a system in place and you're organised. And I had quite a few people asking, I mean, I know this is not relevant for many of you, but about the horses and about how I juggle it and what I do. And so I thought I'd talk to you in today's episode about that and about the help that I have, because I do actually have some help. I don't do it all on my own. And I'm going to chat to you a little bit later on about why I have help, how I make it work for me, and all of that. So anyway, I am going to get the horses breakfast sorted for them and just working out where I can put you and you can see what I'm doing. But I'll figure that out in a minute. I think the kettle's almost boiled. It's now 6:45 and I've decided that I'm not going to do any more of the ponies now. I'm going to come back up later after the school run. I don't have that much time after the school run, so I wanted to make a head start on it. But my hands are freezing. The wheelbarrow was left out overnight and the handles are so cold on it. It's quite difficult. And also I was trying to muck out the sand school, poo pick in there, and it's frozen. And so once it's warmed up slightly, I think it'll be much easier. It's going to take me double the amount of time, and that is a waste of time. So I have fed them. They've all got hay, they've all got water, they're all happy. So I'm going to go and do the dogs, get Gus's breakfast on the go, and then get the children up. I'm going to step back into the little bit of light that we've got. If I put my head torch on, I'll blind you with it. I've got a friend who is doing Gus's school run this morning, which is so helpful. So I'm taking Coco, but I've got to get him all ready. He leaves in 45 minutes. So dogs first, Brekkie on the go, get him up, get Cokes up, and then I will just have a bit of a sort out in the kitchen. I'm in full on marmalade making mode, which you may think has gone on for a long time. I am on batch number 8. And I don't do it every day. It's quite labour intensive. I am probably going to make 2 more batches after this, I think. We'll see. I may make a bit more. We will just see. Simon gets, he's quite funny about marmalade. Marmalade making, as if you've watched the marmalade, how to make marmalade. He gives his take on marmalade. But I like to make sure that I've got enough to keep us going through the year, because it's such a short window of opportunity. So I will try and make 10 batches, maybe 12 at an absolute push, but I think that is excessive. Anyway, I must stop talking to you. Look, I'm halfway through mucking out Hooch's stable. I'm going to turn these lights off and whiz inside and do the dogs. The light in here is much better, isn't it? Sorry, the dogs are barking at the dustbin men. They have been coming at erratic times since Christmas and New Year. Last week I think they came on a Wednesday, and I forgot to put the rubbish out last night. And when I was up in the yard, didn't think of them. Took Lola for a run up the road, a little bit of a walk before her breakfast, and I thought, oh, it's Tuesday morning. I haven't put the rubbish out. I haven't seen the rubbish men. Thank goodness I've just got the rubbish out and they've just arrived. The dog's going nuts. So the little ones are in the garden, and I'm just about to start Gus's breakfast. He's going to have a cheese and ham toastie this morning. I'm not sure Coco's going to have the same. She doesn't love toasties. I might do her eggy bread or something like that. Anyway, I'm so pleased I remembered to put the rubbish out because it was really full. I would have actually, if I'd remembered properly, emptied all the bins and put them out, but there was no time for that. But anyway, it's done, and I'm just going to get those noisy little dogs in. I'm so relieved that the rubbish is gone. I would have been furious with myself if we'd had to wait. They collect every other week, so they do recycling one week and household sort of waste on the other week. And it was a household waste week. It was full, and I don't know what I would have done with it. So, phew. I didn't show you how I make cheese and ham toasties. Literally 2 pieces of bread, no butter, nothing on them. Slice with one of these, the cheese, pop some ham in, put the other piece of bread on top, and then in here like that. And I will turn this over to do the other side. So that is Gus's breakfast. So easy, and I love doing toasties on the Aga. I love a toasty machine, and they make really super delicious ones, but you need to put butter on the outside of the bread. And I find the cheese has got, sorry, dogs are padding around. That's Tess. I find that there's enough fat content in the cheese. You don't need additional butter too. The dustbin's just going back. Yeah. So anyway, you can clearly see I'm not completely with it. I need to put the kettle on and have a drink, and I can hear little footsteps. So Gus is coming down, so I need to serve his breakfast. Back from the school run. It was quite an adventurous drive this morning. It is currently, actually the car's engine's turned off, so I can't tell you what the temperature is, but I think it's about -5. It's freezing, and the roads are treacherous. They're really bad. really bad. Saw a couple of accidents. There was a car in a field without its bumper, and yeah, it's amazing how people just don't drive sensibly in icy conditions. If your brakes lock, which they often can do in ice, you have to take your foot off the brake and either pump it or just take it off. And I know it's your natural instinct to slam your foot on the brake, but if you do that on ice, everything locks and you just slide. My father taught me that many years ago. Right, I have got 25 minutes to finish doing the ponies before I need to be inside to have a shower. So I am against the clock. I'm going to go and put my waterproof trousers on, my wellies, my hat, remember my neck thing, and go and finish the ponies quickly. And I will let the dogs out. They can come and join me while I'm up there. I've just realised I don't have a hairband, so we'll twist that. Yeah, so I need to get my skates on. I kind of find that there isn't really a spare moment. Do you know what I mean? You have to like carefully use every moment. Like while Lola was eating her breakfast this morning, I de-iced the car, and it's just using kind of every moment. effectively. I know that sounds crazy, but when you're super busy and when you're up against it, you've just got to really be mindful of how you're spending your time and yeah, maximise it. Anyway, I must stop chatting to you and go and muck out. I finished the ponies. Look how icy it is. It's hideous. I'm just taking Lola for a quick run before I go and have a shower and get ready, because today is Midhurst Buds and Blooms meeting. We haven't had a meeting or a get together since November, so it'll be lovely to see the girls and have a good catch up with them. But I do, oh my goodness, I've seen the time. I'm 10 minutes later than I needed to be. So I'm going to get my skates on, and when I get back from Midhurst Buds and Blooms, I'm going to sit down and have a good chat with you. I've just sat down with a cuppa. It may be a little bit chaotic. The washing machine's just decided to start beeping to tell me it's finished. And I've got Lola and Florence, who are being really annoying and needy beside me. And I'm just going to ignore Florence, and hopefully she will get the message. Anyhow, it's ended up being a bit of a day. I last chatted to you and I said I was rushing because I needed to get showered and ready to go to the Midhurst Buds and Blooms Society committee meeting. And as I was rushing in the shower and late, because, well, it took a lot longer to do the horses this morning than I had anticipated. And actually mucking up the sand school was quite a challenge. I had to do most of it by hand. Don't worry, I was wearing gloves. But the poo had frozen, and so it was actually easier just to pick it up. But it took a lot longer. And somebody got in touch and said, Charlie, can you talk to us about, your routine with the horses, how you juggle everything? I'd love your advice. And that got me thinking, and that has inspired this week's vlog. And, the mum juggle really is real. And whilst I absolutely adore Midhurst Buds and Blooms, I have been struggling being a committee member and fitting everything in. And I was not planning on having this conversation with them or with you today. But actually, as I was in the shower getting ready, I was thinking things through. I then had a chat with Si about it, and we talked it through. And I get so much out of it, and it's a society that I absolutely love and I am passionate about. But it does take up time, and I struggle for time. And I think this year, and I don't think I've talked to you about this yet, but I mean, always the children and Simon are my number one priority. And I think this year I thought, like, January, things are going to be easier, things are going to be calmer. And actually the boys only went back to school last week. Gus went back on Thursday. He got a head injury on Thursday afternoon. He's absolutely fine. He was playing rugby, got bashed in the head, and he's fine. But I had to drop everything that I was doing and go and pick him up. And then he was at school, off school on Friday, and he was here with me. And I just kept thinking, gosh, I'm so lucky that I do what I do, and I can be here for the children. And the Midhurst Buds and Blooms meets on the last Tuesday of every month, and quite a few of those Tuesdays coincide with school holidays, which has been a struggle. And the mum guilt is real, because I know that really I should be here with them, but I'm doing something that I love. And it's about, getting priorities right. Anyway, I had long think about it this morning as I was getting ready and driving there, and I had a discussion with Si about it, and I've resigned from the committee, which wasn't planned. I have thought about it. I did think about it last year, because it's difficult fitting everything in. But they were so sweet, they were so lovely, they were really kind, and they totally understood. I have said, Lola has just, what is that? And that's pot of lip gloss. No, we're not playing with that. They were really sweet. They were really kind. And I have said that I will do tea and coffees for the meetings that I can do that aren't in school holidays. Because, you know, I'm really aware, okay, there are 14, almost 13 and 11. And I thought, maybe very naively, that, you know, as they got older, it would get easier. It doesn't, it's just different. And they need me just as much, mainly as a taxi. But I know that if I'm at Mid-Test Buds and Blooms meetings, which I love and get masses out of, Lola, don't scratch, I feel guilty that I'm not here with them. And actually the school holidays are precious. And so I've resigned, which is sad, but it felt like the right thing to do, because I think if you feel like you are not doing a good job, then you need to look at it. And I felt like I was being pulled in too many different directions. I didn't feel like I was giving them the attention that I needed to. And I always felt torn and stretched and rushed, and that isn't a good feeling to be in. So they were really, really understanding and lovely about that. But I will still be involved, so I feel like I've got the best of both worlds. So I wasn't planning on chatting to you about that. I was planning on chatting to you about the Mum Juggle and, you know, how I do things. So I think I have talked about this a little bit before, but I will go through it again because I know that there are new people here, and hopefully it will be helpful for you. So with the horses, I do morning stables, and whether that is 6 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, it just depends on how the day is. But I fit it in sort of around either before the children are awake, or Simon often does a school run. So I kind of work it round. Lola, no. So needy, I'm sorry. It's very distracting with you. It really is. So I do morning stables every day. And then I have the wonderful Di, Monday to Friday, who does evening stables, because it normally coincides with the school run or cooking supper or something like that. And so, you know, some days I can do it, but it's just easier for Di and for me to know that actually Monday to Friday she does the horses in the evening. We've got 2 ponies and Colin, my horse. And Di also rides Colin, and if I need her to ride a pony, she can as well. She rides Colin for me during the week, and I do weekends. And I could, again, change that. And on the days I can ride, I'd say to her, actually, Di, I'm going to ride today. But if something suddenly happens and I can't then ride, then he hasn't been exercised, and that's not fair on him. No. Go and lie on your bed. On your bed. Very needy dogs this afternoon. So it's just easier, you know, I think it's really important if you've got somebody that's working for you that they know where they are, rather than you keep changing and mucking things around. And if I ride him during the week, then he's just been ridden a little bit more, and that's fine. And school holidays, I do ride during the week with Coco, and that works, you know, really well. So that's how I do things with the horses. We have got the B&B, which is behind me up there, and I run that and have done for quite a few years now. And that pays for Di, and it pays for the running costs of the ponies. And, you know, that's how I work things. Having the ponies is an absolute luxury. I know that. I'm well aware of it. They are expensive, and, you know, having the B&B covers those costs, and for me to have the help with Di. And because we don't have any family members, that I can call on and say, can you help? Can you do a school run? I've just had a phone call from school to say there's a problem. You know, can you come and help? We don't have that. It's just me and Si and the children. And so for us, having a bit of help is actually essential. I do have lovely Piri, who has worked with us since I was pregnant with Gussie, and she comes twice a week and mainly does ironing, but if I need her to clean a bathroom or do a B&B turnaround, she can do that, which is super, super helpful. And she's sort of part of the family. She knows us all so well, and it's lovely having that continuity with her. And then I have lovely Em, who started last late spring, early summer, doing a few hours a week in the garden. And it was just going to be for the summer, and then she was going to leave and you know, hopefully come again next summer. And she did leave, and I really missed her. So she's back, which is amazing, because she is incredible and will happily do a B&B turnaround for me, bring the laundry in, garden, whiz the hoover around. And so I've got that flexibility, and it's really, really helpful. And I missed not having her for that little bit of time that she wasn't here, and so thrilled that she is back helping. And I could do everything myself, but then I couldn't do Ask Charlie. I think I'd be better off financially if I did everything myself and didn't do Ask Charlie, to be perfectly honest. But I love what I do, and I get a lot out of it. And I was talking to Gussie about this the other day, about stay-at-home mums and homemakers and career women. And I said to him, you know, I feel really lucky that I've got the best of both, that I am at home the whole time. I am here for you guys as much as I possibly can be, but I get to do what I do, which I get a lot out of. I love doing it. But I can't do that without having a little bit of help, which is why I have Di that does the ponies, Piri who does ironing and other bits and pieces, and Em who does her bits. And so, you know, that's how I kind of juggle things. As I talked to you this morning about, you know, maximising all your time that you've got. And I kind of see this season as kind of crazy busy, but it's not always going to be crazy busy. And as the children get older and they're at school for longer, or they're away, or, you know, they don't need so much time or taxiing around, you know, once they've all got their driving license, hopefully, if they do, and, you know, they're flying the nest, then I'm going to have a lot more time for me to, you know, do my tapestry and read books and that sort of thing. But at the moment, it is a bit of a juggling act. And yes, maybe I didn't or don't need to make however many batches of marmalade that I'm going to do this year, but I love to have enough for my website orders. I love to have enough for my Christmas hampers. And most importantly, I love to have enough for my darling husband. So it's about thinking what your priorities are and how you want things to work. And, you know, for me, something that had to give today was actually being on the committee of Midhouse Buds and Blooms. It doesn't mean that I can't be a member. It doesn't mean that I can't go and do teas and coffees. It doesn't mean that I can't be involved. I have just got a little bit more time back, and I'm not feeling like I am stretched in too many different directions and not doing a good job at the things that I should be doing. It's about getting your priorities right. And one of my New Year's sort of goals, as it were, which I don't think I've talked to you about, was actually spending more time with my husband. And I know that might sound really silly, but I we do spend a lot of time together, but actually kind of quality time. If he says, you know, darling, I'm got a trip away, do you want to come? I want to be able to say yes and be able to have a night away with him and do things like that. That for me is really, really, really important. And, you know, being able to go and watch the children in their matches on a Wednesday, and so only having half a day to do the things, you know, the worky things I need to do. Lola's got her sore on her head. She had an ear infection and she scratched and she's got a sore patch, haven't you? But it's getting a lot better. It is. So, yes, the mum juggle is real. It is real, guys. I get it. I totally understand. And I think, you know, some of you look at me and think, gosh, you know, how do I do it all? And hopefully, you know, me chatting through, talking about the help that I've got at home. And then I have the help with Ask Charlie. I have amazing Tish who does so much for me, which means that I can do what I do. She's a tech whiz and does, you know, all sorts of wonderful things. I just give her the content, which is amazing. And then Victoria, who is on maternity leave, and has got a beautiful, beautiful baby girl that has arrived safely, which is super, super exciting. And she will be back at some point editing the podcast. Because again, you have to work out, you know, what your priorities are. Yes, I could edit it, but then something would have to give. And it would probably be me editing it late in the evening, which means I'm not spending time with my husband, which actually is really important. So it's about, you know, sit down, have a think about what you're doing, how you juggle things. You know, for me with the horses, because I do morning stables, I just get up, put my horsey clothes on, go and do the horses, and then when they're finished, I come in, I have a shower, I get ready, and I'm good to go for the rest of the day. And, you know, if there's a day where Di can't do, then I could, you know, easily go up and do them in the evening, and that, you know, works really well. But on the whole, I know that she is here Monday to Friday. And if there's something at the weekend, a couple of weekends ago I had a catering job and I was worried it was going to run on, and so I messaged Di and said, actually, could you do Saturday evening, because I think I'm going to be tight on time. Thank goodness I did, because I was really, really tight on time. I got back a couple of hours later than I thought I was going to, and so it's just taking that pressure off. And I know that, you know, they're being looked after properly. And if we go away, then Di comes and house sits and she looks after the dogs and they are still in their routine. So hopefully me waffling on about that has been helpful to you. Good morning. So I didn't get up really early for the ponies, so I got back last night. He's done the school run, so I'm up here. It's currently 8 a.m. So lovely listening to the birds. The kettle is on. It's frozen solid up here this morning. Well, I've got water in the tack room, but everything else is frozen. So the kettle is on to defrost everything, give the ponies their breakfast, and do my morning mucking out. So it's currently Wednesday, which means it's my kind of half day. Gus has got a rugby match, Coco's got a netball match, Sai is going to Coco's netball match, I'm going to Gus's rugby match, and then Simon's got an old friend who's actually Gus's godfather who is coming to stay this evening, which will be really lovely to see him because he lives abroad and I actually can't remember the last time I saw him. It's been years. So I need to get my skates on a bit today and do a food shop and prep tonight's supper. And actually, if I'd been organised, I would have done the food shop yesterday. But yesterday was one of those days. It didn't go to plan. I even put my lucky pants on. Yes, I have lucky pants. And everything that could have gone wrong, well, not everything that could have gone wrong, but quite a lot didn't go to plan yesterday. The post office wasn't working. I had a delivery that was being picked up. I must have not pressed the right button on the computer. it wasn't scheduled properly, they didn't come. It's just one of those days. Anyway, I think the kettle is boiled, so I am going to crack on and chat to you later. Ponies are all done and I'm just out for a walk with Lola. I thought while I was wrapped up really warm, I would take her for a good run. The old girls are huddled in front of the Arga, little Penny and Florence, the four of them on the sheepskin rug. So I left them there and I will take them out a bit later. I've got my gloves and I've got my secateurs because I'm on a mission to get some twigs, which is another reason why I didn't bring all the dogs, because I can't gather twigs while I'm keeping an eye on them. But Lola's fine. So yes, twigs. You might wonder why. Why do you want twigs, Charlie, on a frosty morning? Because I needed to do the bulbs. We talked about bulbs last week. I still haven't done them and I've got everything ready to go, but I thought I would share with you how I do it. I know this week this is a vlog, not how to, but you've got a bit of a how to thrown in there, and there will be a few how to's as well, but just, yeah, simple bulb planting for inside, and we need twigs, and you will see why later on. I was going to chat to you about something else. What was it? I can't remember. My mind is frozen. Clearly, it actually wasn't too bad doing the horses today. I did have to handpick most of the sand school, but I got it done pretty quickly. And it's just so lovely, this weather. Cold, crisp, sunshine, beautiful, beautiful blue sky. The sunrise this morning was amazing. I should have shared it with you. In fact, I need to get the drone set up because this morning would have been a perfect morning for drone flying. Oh, I know what I was thinking about talking to you about, but I'm going to talk to you about it later when I get home, because somebody's just sent me a message and said, what was the pot that I was using to make my lamb tagine? That is Tuesday's how-to, which is out there so you can see. And actually, I make a mistake in Tuesday's how-to, and I don't think I can rectify it now, but I have in the comments below, and the recipe is correct. When I add in the prunes, I call them dates. Goodness knows why. Goodness knows why. Sometimes I say the wrong thing, and if I pick up on it when I'm editing, I mark it. Sorry, the light's crazy. Sun streaming through there. I mark it, and I didn't pick up on the fact that I said dates rather than prunes. The recipe is correct, and I also filmed a TikTok. That is correct. It's not dates, guys. It is prunes. But they asked me what pot I use, so I'm going to talk to you about that at home. I've also got a few things that have arrived in the post that I'm going to share with you as well. Anyway, Lola and I are on a twig mission, so we're going to get our twigs, and then once I'm showered and ready a bit later, we will plant the bulbs. Mission complete, and I didn't even need to snip anything. These were all on the ground, so I feel like I'm actually doing a good job of picking up sticks that will be very useful later on, and I will share with you. I will have to try and keep these away from Simon because he's got a thing about me collecting twigs. He thinks I'm completely and utterly crackers, and he'll say, "More blooming twigs, what are you doing with those?" Yeah, he's so funny. He has a few things that he doesn't like, and twigs is one of those. So anyway, I shall deal with these as quickly as I possibly can, and he'll be none the wiser. Look how stunning this is. Days like this and you feel just so lucky to be alive. The sun is so bright. It's just incredible. Like, there's a quick 360 for you. I'm showered and I'm ready. And actually I've got a little bit of extra time because Gus's match has been cancelled this afternoon because the ground is frozen solid. So that is a good decision by the school, because I think playing rugby on frozen ground is not ideal. You want it to be soft, definitely. But I thought I would share with you what has arrived in the post. So first, I've got these gorgeous Arga covers from Locks and Fens. And Locks and Fens have kindly, gorgeous card and a handwritten note from Isabel. And she's given us a special discount code off all Arga covers for you guys. And the code is Charlie20. I will leave it linked down below. I love the fact that they've got the loops, so you can just attach this to your Arga handle, and when you lift your Arga lid, it doesn't fall down. They're not going to catch fire. They don't get in the way. It's amazing. Not that they catch fire, but I have burnt Arga covers that don't have the loops. So these are really gorgeous, and I love the crab print. They're a beautiful, beautiful linen. Let me show you up close, and they've got their label on the back. So those are from Locks and Fens. Really, really gorgeous company. And then I've just opened the box, but I have not looked inside. So this has come from Wren Jewellery. They got in touch and they said that they knew that I loved pearls. Dear Charlie, we hope your parcel has arrived safely. We cannot wait for you to see you wearing the freshwater pearl drops. They've become a treasured piece, and they become a treasured piece in your jewellery box. And they've also added their best-selling Liberty wraps, which are hand-stamped initial for my daughter. Oh, how sweet. Be worn as a necklace, wrap bracelet, anklet, or hair tie. Oh, that is so kind. And that is from Annie, and really gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the embossing. So beautiful. So let's have a little look at what we've got in here. Oh, beautiful, beautiful bag. Gosh, their packaging is incredible. And their lookbook, autumn winter, that is gorgeous. Gorgeous. They've got some really, really beautiful pieces, and I do have brands that get in touch saying, you know, can we send you pieces of jewellery. I don't often wear anything but pearls, as you guys know, but they have sent these, which are gorgeous little pearl drops. Let's pop them in. Let's pop them in. And these, I think, are really beautiful, particularly in, you know, for the evening. Let's put a little bit of, and when I wear my hair up, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it without looking in a mirror. I needed to go and look in a mirror, but they are so pretty. And they're really delicate and little and subtle. I don't know if, let me put my hand there. The light isn't very good, but they are just gorgeous. Really, really thrilled with those. So kind of them. And then in here, their packaging is beautiful. Oh look, that's so fun. So for Coco, a little embossed C. Can you see that properly? Let me move that out of the way. So pretty, and that'll be really, really fun for her. That is so gorgeous. Thank you very, very much. I will leave Rennie's details, I think that's how you pronounce it, linked down below as well, because they have such a beautiful, beautiful collection. You know, really stunning sort of gold stars. Some really lovely pieces. So definitely worth taking a look at their collection. And they've got men's too. So yeah, gorgeous, thank you. I think these are going to be really, really pretty and much treasured. Now we're jumping from beautiful pearl earrings to kitchen pots. A few of you who have watched my, and I talked about this earlier when I was out walking, my how to make lamb tagine spotted the pot and I was testing it out for the first time. So I didn't share it with you guys because I like to try things out first. I bought this a little while ago and I have used it for some things, but not for, you know, as a casserole. It's from Our Place and I think they call it the Always pot. I will link it down below. And it's really versatile. You can use this to steam veg. You can do all sorts of things with it. So this comes with it. And what is really clever is the lid has got those bits and that bit. It actually comes with a spoon. So if you put the lid like that, you can easily strain. You can turn it so you've got those there and it lets out a little bit of steam, or you can turn it so nothing can come out. And I cooked the lamb tagine in here and it worked really well. And it is very, very non-stick, which is amazing. It cleaned effortlessly, which is a huge plus. I wouldn't say it's as sturdy as the Le Creuset pots, and you know, they are much heavier, they are much sturdier, but this is a great alternative if you don't go for Le Creuset. And I think they're a really clever design. They also have got, which I bought, and let me show you, they've also got this, which it comes with a cleaning natural sponge, so you can steam things in here. Again, it's very, very non-stick, and it comes with, I've got spoons, it's got a little nodule there, so you can attach your spoon, and it's got a little thing there so you can pop your lid on, and I have been using that as well. So and they're from Our Place, and again, this is a spoon for this dish, and it rests, it's got these little nodules and you can rest it, which is quite clever. It does balance. I'm not doing a very good demo, but it's nice that it comes with the wooden spoons as well. So they are great pots and pans. Now I'm going to wrap up a few orders and whiz to the post office and the butcher's, Tesco's, get the bits and pieces I need, and then come back and cook. And we need to do the bulbs as well. I feel like I've been talking about these bulbs for what feels like weeks, but I am actually going to do it. It is such a beautiful day. It is warming up outside. I'm not going to wear these because these are for special occasions only, so I'm going to whip them out, but they are just so beautiful. They're even, I don't know if you can see, even better in real life than online. They're just really delicate, and they're a beautiful, beautiful colour, which is gorgeous. I can't get over how stunning they are, and such beautiful packaging. Anyway, I need to wrap up orders and whiz out. I'm back from doing my errands, and I am quickly going to whip up key lime pie for pudding tonight. Key lime pie is Gus's favourite, and he has requested it. If you would like me to do a full how-to, let me know in the comments below, and I will show you step by step exactly how I make it. But I thought I would just chat to you while I was doing it now. You just get the way out of this one. There we are. I've got my muslin from marmalade making hanging behind, and yesterday honestly was one of those days. My marmalade just wasn't reaching setting point, and it was getting ridiculously late. In fact, I finished marmalade making at 11:30 last night, which is ridiculous, but sometimes it just doesn't work like that, and you need to leave it to rest before you can jar it up. So I have to leave it to. Anyway, it's fine. It's done. Lots of marmalade made, and it's good. It's good. It's all fine. Let's just pop all that in, and a fraction more for good measure. Some chocolate drops. In fact, I don't put the chocolate drops in now. I'm just going to whiz this all up, and then once I've made this, we need to go outside. I think it's going to be warm enough outside to do our bulbs out there. So I'm just going to get this going. Right, that is all whizzed up, and I've got my tin at the ready. And there's been a landslide. I don't know if I've told you this. There's been a landslide, and it means that at the end of our road, we can't turn right, which is the way I go for the school run and for everything else, which is seriously frustrating. In fact, I'm going to use a different. I'm going for the bigger one. Hang on. I'm back with you. I wanted the bigger one. I got the wrong one out by accident. There's been a landslide, so everything takes so much longer. And actually, I think it's going to be quite a long time until it's fixed. I think it happened while we were away at Christmas. And yeah, it's a big problem. It's a big problem, and it's causing chaos out there. So what should have taken me about 45 minutes took an hour and a half. But good news, the post office was open today and working, so parcels all posted, and it's a good feeling to be up to date on there. I put marmalade on the website. Well, I say I put marmalade. Tish very kindly put the marmalade on the website, and had some orders for that already, so that has been sent. And yeah, went to the butcher. I love my butcher. He's so, well, there's two of them, Neil and Leon, and they're just so lovely. Always have a nice chat with them. That's done. My lovely checkout girl in Tesco's. We have a nice natter. And yeah, back home. Oh, bumped into a friend as well. I'm just gonna put this in the fridge to chill, and then actually we're gonna make the topping right now. That is the topping done. Right, to pour it over my biscuit base, and then we're going to go outside. Going to make one little boy very, very happy. He said to me yesterday, "Mama, can you make key lime pie when Godfather Piers comes to stay?" I said, "Yes, I can, my darling." And it's done. Put it in the fridge to chill, and then bulb time. I've just set the dishwasher, as you can hear. Because if you've got people coming over, you always want to make sure that the dishwasher is empty and ready to go. So that is a good tip. I always try to remember to set it, and then it just makes it so much easier clearing up in the evening. And I always clear up that night. I never leave it till the morning because it's hideous starting the day when you've got to clear up. It sets the wrong kind of tone. Starting on the back foot is never a good thing. I've got everything I need. I'm not in the sun, so it's actually a little bit nippy, so we're going to be quick. I've got hyacinths and narcissus, basically daffodils, from the flower shop in Pulborough, and I have got some peat-free bulb fibre, which I'm going to open actually first. Let's get into this. You can just use any old compost. It doesn't need to be bulb, but when I went to get it, it was actually torrential rain and this was inside rather than picking up a wet bag. So I'm just going to put a bit in the bottom of this one because it's quite deep. And I'm going to go with actually these three. I think when you're gardening, go in odd numbers. 1, 3, 5 of something, I think looks best, but it doesn't matter. These are actually frozen, completely frozen, so I'm not even going to try and separate them. If they weren't so frozen, you could just pull the roots apart a little bit, but I'm not even going to attempt to do that because they're solid, like blocks of ice. So I've got those in there, and I'm going to put 2 lots of these in as well, if I can get them out. Yeah, we can get them out. And these little pots I will keep and I will use. Can I separate them? Can we separate them? I don't want to do damage. That is annoying. Maybe I need to go and put them on the Arga for a minute to warm up. Well, we'll see. Let's have a go with these ones. They've been outside waiting for me to do this. And as you know, I've been talking about it for a long time. They're fine. Those ones are okay. A little bit of brute force, delicate brute force, and we are making progress. So I'm just going to put those around there, and then add in a bit more of this compost. Give that all a little bit of a push down. That's Penny. She's inside. She's been asleep in our bedroom. Now I've just picked some moss from the lawn. Simon didn't notice when I made my wreath at Christmas that I'd made a few holes. Maybe he won't notice this either, but he doesn't really miss a trick. Ooh, there's a delivery that has just arrived. You don't need to add moss, but I think it just looks nice. Back with you in a sec. I think that was an Amazon parcel. They've just just left it and I'll have a look later. So now for our twigs. Gosh, that one's quite long. Ideally I would use something like twisted willow, which is a little bit more strong and sturdy. In fact, that's too tall. And this, just adding the twigs, gives the hyacinths a bit of structure and support, because they need it. As they grow up, you're just providing a little bit of a frame for them. And again, you don't need to add in the twigs, but you will find that your hyacinths need support. There's still a bit of frost on that moss. So just poke your twigs in. Put a couple more. And you can always trim them down if they're a bit long and wild, as these ones are. So there is our first one done. And then I've got these other two containers. Hopefully these have defrosted enough for me to split them. They have. And I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. We're done. I'm not going to put any twigs in this one because I think the pot is too small and they will look ridiculous. I actually found it really difficult to get the twigs into here because it's frozen and there's not many holes for twigs. But anyway, that is how I plant my bulbs up. I don't want to bring these inside too quickly and shock them from going from freezing cold to quite warm. So I will just gradually creep them in. They could stay by the front door. But I think they're going to look lovely, and there's nothing like having spring bulbs. I think these will look really pretty as they come out and we can really enjoy them. It is freezing now. My hands are so cold. I'm going to go in and warm up. A truck going past. It's typical when I come out to film, suddenly everything happens. Anyway, I'm going to clear up this mess, and if I've got time I might be able to watch the end of Coco's netball match. Might just make it. I didn't go to the netball match because I rang Si to say shall I come, and he said actually it's about to finish, so I didn't go. Now you can't see what I'm doing, so I'm just going to move you down. Just a whole load of papers there. I am making Hasselback potatoes for this evening, and you may wonder what I'm doing with potato on a wooden spoon, but it's the best way to do Hasselbacks because the spoon acts as a stop slicing through. The Hasselback potatoes are sort of sliced down and then roasted, and so I'm using my always pan spoon from our place to do the job and just slicing through. So I think Coco is going to appear in a moment. Actually, she wants to ride quickly before it gets dark. So we're going to go and do that. and I use the time, rather than going to netball, to set the table for this evening. So the dishwasher is probably almost finished, and the table is set. Because Gus didn't have his match, it means that he's not going to be home early from school. So I'm going to be tight on time. So as much as I can do in advance, it fits with the theme of the Mum Juggle, the better. Get ahead, get organised, and then it will be less stressful. So I'm just going to slice these up and actually start them off. And Si, who is currently lighting the fire, aren't you, darling? Yeah. Is going to put the chicken in the oven. So that is perfect. And he's picking pears up from the station. So we're all organised. The table is set. I did bring the bulbs in. I thought they'd be fine. The fire is lit. There's Maud, her favourite cosy spot. I put the other bulbs over there, and then that there. Size boots open. Cokes is about to go for a ride quickly. It's just beginning to get dark, but she'll get a quick hack in. And there's little Miss Needy and Tess. This is how I keep fit. I'm actually not doing my workouts at the moment because mucking out the ponies is enough of a workout. Lifting bales of straw and hay is keeping me in check, and I just keep remembering to suck in my core. And I'll get back on the workouts as soon as I possibly can. In fact, I've booked into 2 boot camps with Lee in February and March in person. So I'm really looking forward to those. Cokes, give us a smile. And Cokes is just riding a hooch. And I am walking. In fact, I've got, well, Lola and, no, Tess has decided that it's too cold. She stayed at home. Si's in charge of the cooking, and we can get a quick, I sound quite out of breath, it's because I'm walking very quickly. We can get a quick ride in before I go and pick Gus up. This has just arrived in the post. I listened to you all. I took all of your comments on board, and I said I wasn't that sure about the pinky one and to let me know your thoughts. And quite a few of you said, Charlie, it's not you, send it back. So I did, and I exchanged it for this one, and I'm really, really thrilled. It's got this beautiful pink on the smocking and on the edge of the collar, and I know that I will reach for this and I will put it on and I will feel great in it. Whereas the other one, I think if you've got in your mind like a question of, I'm not sure it's completely me, then it's not you. It's not right, because it's not something that you will reach for, you know, out of your wardrobe. You will choose other things and it will remain unworn. So if in doubt, don't get it. Send it back, exchange it, whatever it is. And that goes with kind of actually everything in life, really. And I really value your opinion too. Now, I can't even remember where I left you yesterday. I think I was making Hasselback potatoes. So our dear friend came to stay. It was so special seeing him. There is nothing like an old friend. Him and Simon go back, I think we worked it out last night in bed, 45 years. I mean, that's a lifetime, isn't it? And, you know, they are really wonderful friends. He was best man at our wedding. He's Gus's godfather, and it's sad that he lives on the other side of the world, but wonderful that through technology we can keep in touch and he can come and visit. It was such a lovely evening. We stayed up far later than we should have done. I drank more than I should have done. It was just too exciting having him here and reminiscing and chatting and catching up. And he had a bit of time as well with Si just to chat together, which is really, really lovely. He left at about midday, and going back to the Mum Juggle, today's theme, I got up early and I did the ponies and I had a shower and then did the early school run. And I knew that I would be tight in time coming back and then showering and getting ready, because actually I had a live this morning for my Facebook group for the Arga course, which I've been running this week. And so I knew that time would be tight. So I've actually only just come in from finishing off the horses. So I fed them hay and water, but I didn't muck out this morning. There wasn't time for that. And I thought, you know what? Get in, have a shower, get ready. And you need to kind of plan your day and work out how to juggle things. And that's what I do. And I knew that I needed to be not stressed out this morning because I had my live with my course. You know, that's my focus, that's my priority. And I didn't want to be under time pressure. I wanted to make sure that everything was fine and I was under control. So that's how I juggled today. But I'm going to end this vlog here because we've done all sorts of bits, haven't we? I'm really thrilled with the bulbs. I cannot wait until they start to come out. They definitely, you know, I was pleased I got them done yesterday and we could enjoy them last night, although at the moment it's just basically moss in a bowl with some twigs sticking out, but it looks better than nothing. But I hope that you've enjoyed this week. I've had lots of people get in touch saying, Charlie, can you do a how-to on this and that and other things, which is really, really lovely. Keep the ideas coming. I love hearing from you. And thank you for tuning in. If you are new to my channel, please do hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of my weekly videos. The more interaction, the more subscribers, the more my channel is shown to other people, and I would be super, super grateful for that. So I will see you again on Tuesday with another how-to, and in the meantime, have a lovely, lovely weekend.